Hello, and today we're going to be talking about a Starcom grail. When I say Starcom grail, most people will be thinking immediately about the Upriser or the Euro figures or the Euro mini vehicles. But in actual fact, I'm going to be talking about the Starfleet Action Set. Now, two action sets were released and they are extremely hard to come by in boxed condition. The action sets were only released in Europe, and there is a possibility that they were actually only released in the UK, because the only examples of these sets that I've seen have been coming up for sale in the UK.
The last Starcom toy series was released in 1989, but on the box the date is 1990. It seems that these action sets were designed for overstock items and to get items moving before it was too late. Whatever the reason, they're now highly sought after and very difficult to find by Starcom collectors.
The Starfleet action sets came with three vehicles, and that was a Starwolf, a Missile Fox and a Starmax bomber. Now these were exactly the same toys that we'd seen previously, but these ones that came in the action set came with a different sticker set, which I'll show you later. The box set also came with 8 figures, and that includes Rip Malone, James Derringer, Aegon 6, General Torbeck, Hammer, Tom Waldron, John Jefferson and Yank. Now you notice amongst those figures are Hammer and Yank, and these two are Euro figures. They were Euro exclusive figures that are nowadays very hard to get because there simply aren't that many of them, and so they can be tough to find. The other two figures that kind of stand out a bit are Aegon 6 and General Torbeck, because they're Shadow Force, and the box actually explains that they are prisoners of the Starcom force in this playset. On the back of the box you'll see that there's information about the Starwolf and the pilot and all the actions that it does. For those of you with sharp eyes, you'll immediately notice that they've put the wrong pilot in the Starwolf.
It should be Tom Waldron, but they've mixed them up, and Rip is in the Starwolf and Tom is in the Starmax as shown. They give extra information about the Starwolf on the box as shown here.
Now if we take a look at the Starwolf vehicle, you're going to notice that the sticker scheme is different, but apart from that it's the same Mattel version of the Starwolf vehicle. It does exactly the same, looks exactly the same. If we look at the stickers, you can see that there's an actual word Starwolf that now goes on the vehicle, and you've got this new symbol that's a lovely star with blue background that goes on all of these action set vehicles. There are also some extra stickers that you put on the cockpit and on the top magnet, and you can see it looks like targeting systems on the window at the front of the toy. Now next up we have the Missile Fox, which was also included. And on the box you can see that it's being driven by John Jefferson. Both for Astro Marines have got that right, but obviously the stickers for Astro Marines and Starfleet's all been changed to just a star on the blue background. So again, from these images you can see that the original stickers have changed, and instead of Astro Marine symbols you've got this star on a blue background and the other decals, including a target image that goes on the magnet on top of the vehicle. I'll also show you some box art now as well, which gives information about the vehicle too. And last but by no means least, you've got the Starmax bomber vehicle. You can see that that takes up most space on the back of the box because it had so many features. You can also see that they've got the figure wrong, just like they did with the Starwolf. It's got Tom Waldron in instead of Rip Malone, so they've effectively swapped those two figures. There's information on the box about the vehicle and the pilot in 2 sections that you can see. Just like the other 2 vehicles, there's a lot of information about the vehicle and play features on the box. You can also see from the pictures of my vehicle that it's got different sticker work again, the name added and the star on the blue background, and lots of other decals on the rear and on the cockpit. Now, as well as getting the 3 vehicles with the set, you also got 8 action figures: Rip Malone, James Derringer, Aegon 6, Torbeck, Hammer, Tom Waldron, John Jefferson and Yank. On the box, the pilots Rip and Tom Waldron were shown in their vehicles. John Jefferson was also shown in Missile Fox. The 3 other Starcom figures were shown with 2 Shadow Force action figures, and it was explained that the Shadow Force figures were their prisoners. The figure John Jefferson is shown in the Missile Fox, but he's not mentioned in any of the box information. And now we're going to talk about the box and the artwork. This is really interesting because at the time, if the Starcom lettering wasn't on the box, then you may have completely missed this if you were looking for Starcom toys. If we compare it to other Starcom toys, you'll see that they are a completely different color. Here's a few of the Mattel boxes and you'll see they're all bright red and they have the Starcom on the white background. It's a really strange scheme that they've used on this box, and it completely differs to all of the toys that they've previously released boxed as part of the Starcom line. The only other example of these darker coloured boxes were the special offer packs, which came with a Starwolf and a Minipod. And again, this would indicate that these were end of the line toy packs put together to try and get rid of stock before just everything stopped selling. However, no matter the reasons for the new boxes, the artwork is really good on the front. You've got the Missile Fox firing, you've got the Starwolf flying into action, you've got the figures shooting, you've got the Starmax bomber shooting in a landed position. At the rear you can see the prisoners being put in the back of the Starmax bomber. It looks really good. All four of the box sides have the same image, slightly different to the main image of the box, and they just advertise what was also included inside the box. So unsurprisingly, the rear of the box is a lot more interesting than the sides. The rear is just absolutely jam-packed with information. On the left, you've actually got a story which spreads from the top of the box to the bottom of the box, from the top left corner to the bottom left. I'm not going to bore you with that story now, but I will read it out and put it at the end of the video in case you want to have a read of it. Also on the box, it's got large pictures of the three vehicles and the figures. The pilots are in the cockpits of their vehicles, and the Missile Fox has a driver sat down in that vehicle. And then it shows you the 5 other Starcom figures who are not attached to vehicles and gives you a bit of information about them and the 2 Shadow Force prisoners. Next to the large images of the vehicles, you've got the product information, like what it does, and information about the pilots and the features of each vehicle. On the right side, you've got even more information. There's more info on the Starmax bomber and on the Starwolf and on Missile Fox. It gives you a bit more detail about what the actual vehicle is and does, rather than simply what the mechanics of it are. The vehicles were all packaged inside a cardboard insert. Each vehicle and the parts and figures were all in plastic bags, and on top of the cardboard insert was a polystyrene rectangle that was on the top, and then that would all slide into the main box sleeve. There was only one instruction sheet, and that covered all of the vehicles. On one side you had the Starmax bomber, and on the other you had the Missile Fox and the Starwolf. The set also came with 2 sticker sheets. I found some reproduction versions on a Twitter account called the German Collector, and there's pictures of those here. He also had some other pictures of the boxed action set, and I put a couple on here. So shout out to that Twitter account, the German Collector, check that out. So we're coming to the end of the video now. I've tried to give you as much information as I can about this action set, and I'll be trying to do another one for the Shadow Force action set, showing you the vehicles and the figures and the different stickers they had, and also the box and what was included on that box. I'm now going to go into the story that was on the back of the box. I wanted to do it at the end of the video as it is quite lengthy. But please, if you've enjoyed the video, please send me a subscribe and check out lexistoyloft.com, where we're doing free Starcom guides covering absolutely everything around the toy line. So please check that out. It may help you with your collecting and working out which parts go with which. The link to the website will be below. Thanks very much, and again, please subscribe. After a long patrol, the Starmax fighter bomber on one of Starfleet's peacekeeping patrols is quietly cruising across the galaxy when suddenly, wahoo, wahoo, wahoo! The urgent wail of the alarm signals danger. The ship's battery-operated power source is failing. Inside the huge spacecraft, lights flicker and dim. The banks of computer screens go blank. The ship's commander, galactic superhero Dash Derringer, leaps into action. We'll have to risk an emergency landing on Mars. Lower the landing skid and take a deep breath. As he speaks, a huge range of obelisks comes into view. As the huge ship coasts closer to the forest of massive ancient standing stones, the crew become aware of a strange light. It seems to be coming from the obelisks. The light grows stronger and stronger until the whole of the Starmax glows in its beam like a 1,000,000 megawatt light bulb. Then just as suddenly the beam vanishes. The spacecraft's computer screens light up again. "Hey Dash," shouts Lieutenant Bob Rogers. "We have full power again, but the batteries are just as low." Never one to go by the rulebook, Dash gives the order to switch off the battery power completely. To their amazement, all systems are still fully energized and registering full power. "I'll report this to Admiral Brickley," said Rogers as he flicked open the communication channel. "Stop!" cried Dash. "We can't risk the Shadow Force intercepting it." But Emperor Dark, the evil leader of the Shadow Force, was already monitoring the Starfleet ship by spy beam and knew the importance of the discovery. Unlimited energy, unlimited power. He fires orders to his generals, Torvek, Vondar. "Mass my legions of mutants and robots. We will take these obelisks and crush the Starfleet. I will rule the universe." Will this newfound energy source enable the Starfleet to repel the evil Shadow Force, or will the merciless Emperor Dark finally achieve his ambition of ultimate power? This is only the beginning of the battle for the universe.